Welcome to Passioneer Magazine, the podcast, where you'll hear inspirational stories, encouraging news, and in-depth interviews with authors, influencers, CEOs, and thought leaders. Passioneer Magazine, the podcast. Bold ideas, brave pursuits, boundless inspiration. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Passioneer Magazine, the podcast. Today, we're looking at faith-based leadership in business. We're going to use Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6 as our inspirational scripture, and it reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." Now, for those of you who may not be of the Christian faith, I'd like for you to just use that, as you will, as an inspirational quote. And that is, acknowledge your faith and what it dictates to you for your basis in this conversation. Now, we're going to do this as a series, so there's so much we can talk about. Today, we're going to discuss the power of faith in our leadership. Now, faith is a powerful guiding principle that plays such a significant role not only in our day-to-day lives, but also in our leadership within any business platform. There are some key points that I would like to highlight or remind you of, or even consider. One is your vision and purpose. Faith can provide leaders with a clear vision and purpose for their business that is either as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, or even if you think of what you do as just a glorified hobby or a side hustle. Who you are and how you choose to conduct yourself when it comes to your business says a lot. Now, your vision and purpose based upon your faith is a guiding light in your day-to-day operation. It helps you with decisions and taking action toward your long-term goals. It also helps you stay focused and motivated, especially during challenging times when uncertainty and doubt may creep in. Making sure that you align with perhaps your favorite scripture, as well as this one, will help keep you on track, motivated, and give you that gentle nudge to remind yourself, don't be distracted by what you see. Another important factor to consider is trust and integrity. Faith in itself and with others is so important. You have to not only be able to have faith or trust in those that you are working with, but you also need to be a trustworthy person yourself so that others can have faith in you. Faith in others and within itself is a connection to the higher power that we can instill in our workplace, as well as in our leadership style. This trust allows for others to strengthen their relationship with us because they understand that we are people of integrity. But this trust can strengthen your relationship with your employees or with your team members as well. Your clients will appreciate your trust and integrity. Your stakeholders will appreciate that you are a person of integrity, as well as it fosters a positive work environment that is built on honesty and respect. Now, we know if we watch the news that so many people are talking about a toxic work culture. So the fact that you are trying to encourage one of trust and integrity says a lot about who you are and what you wish for your employees, your team members, and your client base to experience while they are on your campus. Another point to consider is resilience and perseverance. Belief in something greater than oneself can give leaders the resilience and perseverance needed to overcome obstacles and setbacks. If you believe that you alone can fix it, if you believe that you alone are the Almighty, then you may be doing it wrong. As great and awesome as we all are, no one person can replace God. No one person has the answer to it all. We know that because in order for our vision to come to fruition, in order for our visions, our dreams, our hopes, our aspirations, that thing that we've been trying to do, you need to work in partnership, in tandem with, in collaboration with others. Now, sure, you may be able to craft something with your hands. You may have had the vision of it. It came to you in a dream. You went and got that particular medium and you were able to create and manifest that something. That's awesome. However, you do have to depend on a client or a customer to purchase said creation in order to get that monetary reward. Or, even more simple, to appreciate thereto what you have created. So when we are looking at being our best selves and doing whatever it is that we do, we have to understand that we are not doing it alone, even as awesome as we are. When we look at resilience and perseverance, it enables us to stay determined and optimistic as we inspire others to keep moving forward as well, even in the face of obstacles, adversity, uncertainty, or even if there's a moment that may happen. Like, are you sure that vendor's going to be able to come through? Is the plane going to land in time for the event? There are moments that are going to happen where we're going to have a little bit of worry or concern. So having a sense of resilience and perseverance is when this really comes in handy. These qualities help leaders maintain a positive attitude and outlook, which is essential for motivating your team. Now, when faced with difficult circumstances, a resilient leader can adapt and find creative solutions to the problem, showing their ability to handle pressure effectively. When faced with difficult circumstances, resilient leaders can adapt and find creative solutions to the problem. They show their ability to handle pressure effectively. And when you do this, when you're able to be creative, flexible, or to adapt to the situation, you really do encourage your team or those that you are collaborating with to not only trust in your ability, but also they're motivated to work with you again. They see that you will not drop the ball, that you won't become overwhelmed or frustrated and simply walk away and leave them high and dry, but that you too are committed to the project and that you want to present your best as well. All of these things are so important, either from the perspective of you're seeking or you're looking to find someone to collaborate with, or you're willing to be the collaborator. I think in leadership, we have to understand that whatever we do, it is both projected into the world, but it is also how others perceive us as well. If we want to be someone that is considered trustworthy, we must first be trustworthy. So it works in tandem that way. So if you're looking for someone who has these attributes, also be a person who has these attributes. And I think that you will find that like attracts like, that others that have the same qualities that you display, that you share with others, they're going to want to work with you as well. Another part of being a faith-based leader in business and showing the power of faith in your leadership is ethical decision making. Now, this isn't going to be, of course, a talk on ethics, so don't worry about that. We got enough of that in college, right? But faith also aligns with a strong moral and ethical value. And I think that most people can agree with that. So being that powerful and great leader, guiding especially others and your team, you must make principled decisions that benefit not only the bottom line, but also the well-being of your employees, your team, your community, your customer, your client at large. Now, this helps, in my opinion, for you to navigate the ethical dilemmas with integrity and compassion. So many times people say, well, I don't know how to navigate it. I don't know what to do or how I should be. Be you. If you are someone who is walking according to your faith, then this is not a problem, or it could be less of a problem than someone who is not allowing their faith to guide them. What do I mean? What I mean is that no matter what faith you belong to, I happen to be a Christian, no matter what faith you belong to, most belief systems will say something like, be kind, be trustworthy, don't abuse others, don't steal, you get where I'm going, right? So if we just look at those basic principles, then you will be on the right path. So if you are working with someone else and it's a beautiful collaboration, you are really happy, you are excited about what has gone on, and you have to compensate that person. I am of the belief that you pay someone immediately after they have done whatever it is that needs to be done. So if it's a particular service, we have a tendency to do what? Give them half to get started, and then the other half upon completion. With a lot of speaker opportunities that you have, you can also negotiate the same thing where you get half of your fee up front, or some type of payment upfront that would take care of your travel and hotel and all of those things, and then get the other half upon completion. It really depends on the collaboration and what you choose to negotiate when coming up with your contract. Some people have a hard and fast rule that this is simply what their organization, association, or business does, and you may have to wait until all things are complete before you get payment. As long as you know that up front, you can make the decision accordingly. If you need to split that in half in order to attend, or to be able to have some type of creative or visionary response, or some type of medium that you're going to have to purchase in order to make this happen, then you need to express that and make sure that both parties are on the same page. With that being said, when it comes time for that payment at the very end, please don't allow for your speaker, your guest, your collaborative team, whomever it is, to go home without having received their payment. That's just me, because I believe or understand that when scripture says pay a person a day's wage upon that day, that before they go home to rest their heads, that they have their check in hand, or however you are choosing to pay them, that they have that payment in hand. And that allows them to rest easy and allows them to move on. Many times in business, when we're when we're talking about certain aspects of what we're doing, especially with folks that are in that entry level position, they are depending on you as the person compensating them to really be forthcoming with that. That may be how they're getting home, or how they are able to move forward with their next project. You never know what's going on. So when we use our faith as a basis for the ethical decision making, you'll find that you are always erring on the side of the positive, of what is correct, right, and true. Now, another thing that we can look at in the power of faith and leadership is inspiration and motivation. When we look at that, leaders who lead with faith can inspire and motivate their team, their community, their employees by achieving a certain type of greatness. And that greatness isn't always, when we think of celebrity status, it isn't always about that. But the greatness when it comes to inspiration and motivation is that that person is going to be the cheerleader for your team, for your organization, for the project that you're working on. Sure, they are going to point out the things that need to be addressed, as any good leader would. But they're also going to be your greatest fan, your greatest cheerleader during this project. So by sharing their beliefs and values, they can create a sense of purpose and meaning in the work that you are doing. And when you are done, you can drive everyone toward that common goal and toward the same passion and dedication. So when you complete it as a team, and you are all able to celebrate and be motivated as a team. If one person succeeds, the team succeeds. If one person needs help, the team needs help. And when you have that, I believe it was from Drumline, and forgive me if I get it wrong, but what was it? One band, one sound, kind of thing. It's like when we do it as a team, let's do it as a team. And that way, everyone rises to the top in exactly the same form and fashion. And I think that you will find it to be really helpful in what you do. An example of this type of leadership, of the power of faith in leadership, is with Dan Cathy, the CEO of Chick-fil-A. Everyone is familiar with Chick-fil-A, not only because they have great food, but in part because they're closed on Sunday. And that sparked a question: why are you closed on Sunday when everyone else is open? And standing on that principle of understanding that this is a particular day of faith and worship for many Christians, it was trying to honor that belief system and not giving in to what others were telling him that he should do to make sure that he had a great bottom line. I think that most people can agree that Chick-fil-A has a great bottom line, even though they may not be open on a Sunday. Now, another example of this is Indra Nooyi, and I hope I'm not saying her name incorrectly. Please forgive me. The last name is spelled Nooye. She is the former CEO of PepsiCo. And she has spoken about how her Hindu faith has really shaped her leadership approach. Now, she emphasizes that there is an importance of spirituality and empathy in her decision-making process, which has been instrumental in the success of PepsiCo. So when we're looking at how does our faith help us become the best that we can be, it is those very basic building principles that allow us to be the best. No one is asking you to join them at their house of worship or become the faith that they are, but you are able to see how someone's faith has really helped them be a great leader because they are, like we said previously, holding themselves to the highest standard that they can. And many times that is the standard of our faith. So I leave you with this. If you are a faith-based person that is in a role of leadership, continue to allow your faith to serve as a powerful guiding principle in your leadership role within your business, within your organization, within the world. Not only just shaping your community, but choosing to make decisions that affect the larger, the collective in action and in deed. We need many more leaders that are choosing to have this level, this high level of accountability. And it also changes the culture in which we are able to interact, and it creates a safe place, not just for one, but for all. So I'm wishing you, according to your faith, many, many, many successes, and continue to lead your organization, your business, your community in a way that is reflective of who you are. Blessings to everyone, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to Passioneer Magazine, the podcast.